recording. So welcome to today's workshop. My name is Del Marine. I will be the host for Anna Lopez, who will be doing the presentation. I just wanted to go over a couple of workshops that we have coming up the rest of the week. We actually have another workshop today at 2 p.m. It's called Jumpstart Your Careers. Jumpstart Your Career with Skills for Life at 2 o'clock. And then tomorrow we have a Microsoft workshop that it's a series of workshops. Tomorrow is the first one. It's going to be called Rockin' Your LinkedIn Profile. So if you are not familiar with LinkedIn and wish to join, this will be a great opportunity for you to learn about the LinkedIn platform and start utilizing it for employment purposes. And then on Thursday, we have the second part of the Jumpstart Your Career for Skills for Life. And if you wish to attend any of these workshops, please send an email to achievementacademy@sdhc.org, and we will send you the link for the workshop. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Anna Lopez for the presentation. And Anna, do you want to leave your camera on or do you want to turn it off?
I just want to leave it on for one minute just to say again, good morning and welcome to the virtual workshop. My name is Anna Lopez. I am a certified financial counselor. I'm also a workforce readiness specialist at the San Diego Housing Commission. And without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and turn off my video so we can focus on the presentation at this time.
And I did forget to say one thing. Please forgive me.
No, go ahead.
If you do have any questions, please type them in the chat below, and we will answer all the questions at the end of the presentation. Okay, thank you, Anna. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks, Del. Okay, well, welcome again to our virtual workshop, How to Manage Your Personal Finances. So today, what we will be learning is the emotional connection to money, the different types of expenses, ideas and opportunities to reduce expenses and increase income, and the importance of a credit score. The emotional connection to money. This is a great question. How do you feel when you think about money? And I'm going to start by giving you some information regarding the connection, again, the emotional connection to money. Because it's clear that money evokes strong emotions, but where do our feelings about money come from? Our thoughts about money often come from our childhood, from our own experiences in the past, and things that have happened to us. Also, how our parents handled money provides the foundation for how we handle money. This is the reason generational poverty and generational wealth exist. Some people impart bad money habits and beliefs to their children, while others tend to impart their philosophy, strategies on wealth creation to their children. Add to that the fact that formal schooling does not include financial education, and so we go into the world with little or no financial guide, and soon we are making bad financial decisions, running up debt, and entangled in a financial mess. So now I'm going to talk about the 7 most common emotions that are connected to money. These are some emotions that we all feel at one time or another. There's nothing wrong, again, with feeling these emotions because we are emotional beings. What you want to be aware of is how these emotions affect you and your ability to make good decisions with your money. Once you are aware of which emotions affect you the most, you'll be able to better identify and cope with your emotional triggers. And we all have them. Let me start by number one, fear. Fear stops us from moving forward. It's a very powerful emotion that both serves and hurts us. It can protect us from danger. It can also prevent us from trying new things. It causes some people to only see negative outcomes, or it stops people from saying yes to goals they have worked diligently to achieve. Example, people that are considering retirement. Sometimes they are scared of the unknown. But the best defense against fear is to admit that you are scared and ask yourself why. Once you shine a light on your fears, they tend to lose power as logic and good financial planning take over. Fixing boredom with a shopping spree. We can all relate to that right now, especially now during the quarantine and the COVID epidemic. Retailers love boredom because many people cure it by shopping, whether they head to the mall in person or go online. Some people pull out their credit card to buy something to help alleviate the boredom or loneliness. However, shopping doesn't solve the problem, it gets them deeper into debt. Instead, think of more productive ways to occupy and fulfill yourself by picking up a new hobby or maybe joining a book club to help you socialize and meet others. Now, number three is anger and regret. This leads to an I deserve this emotion. Anger can be a scary emotion for most of us. While anger is a normal response to something that upsets us, we tend to diffuse our anger by treating ourselves to something. Anger and regret are the biggest fuels of an I deserve this mindset. When you find yourself saying, I deserve this, remember it's okay to be angry or upset, but buying yourself something is a short-term solution. Instead, learn from your money mistakes, forgive yourself, and let it go. Learn to separate money and your emotions. And that's going to
Hi,
be
Anna.
one of your, yes.
Anna, sorry to interrupt, but I don't think your PowerPoint is moving. Are you still on the same slide?
Yes, I'm still on that
Oh,
same one. Yes.
gotcha. Okay, sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, that's good. That's okay. Envy. Now I'm going to talk about envy. And we all envy, this is one of those emotions that we don't like to discuss. So we pretend that we've never felt envious of someone, but what really matters is how we respond to those feelings. Many respond by trying to keep up or worse, outdo, to turn the tables and make them envious of you. Some even go as far as to get into debt and spend money they don't have on things they don't care about just to impress or gain approval of others they don't even like. Admit to yourself that you are envious and use it to motivate you to work harder to achieve your goals. It's better to focus on practicing gratitude and contentment and be grateful for what you have. Stressed out and spending mindlessly. Life is busy, chaotic, and often stressful, especially during the past months with the COVID pandemic. We are sometimes too exhausted or forget to make value-based decisions. We make the easiest decision in the moment, even if the long-term effect is negative. We need to be aware how our mental and physical state affects us, how we choose to spend our money. For example, instead of making the home-cooked dinner you planned and bought all the groceries for, You picked up fast food instead. It's okay, provided it's a deliberate choice that aligns with your values and fits your budget. Also, happy to spend. Sometimes we don't always realize that positive emotions can have a negative impact on our financial health. So how can happiness be bad financially? Well, when we are happy, we sometimes spend without thinking of long-term consequences, especially when we are celebrating good news. As an example, think of the person who buys everyone a round of drinks because they got a promotion. Again, there is nothing wrong with celebrating good news. Just always make sure it's a conscious choice and not an impulse. Love to say yes, and this is number 7 and the last one. Every parent can relate to this one. We love our kids so much and we want to give them everything their heart desires. So we say yes to everything they want, whether we can afford it or not. You should never feel obligated to spend money on someone to prove your love, whether it's your kids, spouse, family member, friend, or boyfriend or girlfriend. Yet too many of us equate love with spending. You need to be aware if you have this tendency and if you have people in your life who take advantage of it. Remember, real love is not only unconditional, it shouldn't have a price tag either. So identify an emotional decision with a simple question. Will this bring me closer to my goals, or am I feeding an emotion? Remember, it's difficult to make sound decisions in an emotional state. Separate money and your emotions, and that will equal better financial decisions. Now we're going to talk about how to identify the expenses. And we're going to learn that, and we all have expenses, right? Everyone has expenses. We're going to learn that there's 2 categories. They're the required expenses, and the required expenses, they also can be called sometimes fixed expenses, or the easiest ways to remember this would be maybe your needs. So you need to pay your rent, you need your utilities paid, you need to purchase your food. And we could also mention transportation because that's also a need, right? Voluntary expenses, those are more like our wants. And we can give examples of that. It could be maybe the TV cable. And for movies right now, we're not going to the movies because of COVID, but maybe buying sports equipment, traveling, dining out, and shopping, right? So these are, you need to identify your expenses by those 2 categories, the required and voluntary. So so the first thing to identify your income is, are your monthly expenses less than, equal to, or more than your monthly income? You need to know how much money is coming in. And then also, do you anticipate a reduction in your income? Do you anticipate an increase in your expenses? So an example of this is you need to prepare for these things. For example, do you anticipate increase in your expenses? Maybe Christmas is coming up and you know you're going to be buying presents for the family, or birthdays that are coming up, or your car registration. That's why it's important to know how much money you are going to receive so you can be proactive and start saving for these expenses. So here is, how can you increase your income, especially during COVID right now? And how can you reduce expenses and or debt? And how can you save for emergencies? Well, let's start with how can you increase your income? The Achievement Academy has job placement. They offer free trainings. Right now we have the certified nurse assistant training that they just started. But these are great trainings that can lead you into a great career path, and they're free. Also, the job placement, all of our services are free here. Now, for example, if you're looking for a job, increasing your income, you can do, for example, get a side job, maybe delivering pizzas or maybe selling stuff online like on eBay, OfferUp, Mercari. You know, these are other options so you can increase your income. How can you reduce expenses and or debt? And you might not think about these things, but they add up. Even those little things that you spend on daily add up at the end. Let me give you an example. If you brew your own coffee, you'll save almost $100 a month, if not more, by not going to Starbucks, just brewing it at home. If you eat at home and not out, you'll save approximately $200 to $400 a month by doing that. So that money that you're saving by not going out, by making your own coffee, that money, you can put that money towards your debt. You could stop your cable. Cable's almost $100 a month. So if you stop cable and just use your antenna, it's free. I don't have cable. I just took it off because it was an expense that I thought I don't need it. And I could save that money and put it towards something else or maybe savings. Also, you can evaluate your car and home insurance policies. Right now, because we're not driving so much, you can call them and say, hey, I need my policy adjusted because of the fact that I'm not driving as much. Also, when you're running errands, you know, use them wisely. When you're saying to save gas, just try to prepare for those things. And then also utilize the free resources in the community. For example, we offer daily information about free food pantries, diaper banks. This is all free. Pet food. We also have the pet pantries and also free PPE. We get a lot of those free resources that are sent directly to us that we can forward to you. And this, I have clients that utilize all of these free food pantries and the diaper banks, and they've called me to say that they're saving hundreds of dollars by going to these. And the pantries are daily, so you can go to one or all of the free food pantries through the week and save money that way. Now, how can you save for emergencies? I highly recommend you open a separate emergency savings account. It's always good to have at least $1,000 in your emergency savings account. But you say, well, that's too much right now for me. Well, take small steps, maybe save $20 per month and then go from there. You're always going to have emergencies, we all do, that you can have car repair that needs to be done, dental work that was an emergency, or medical emergencies. So it's really important that you prepare for these and start saving for them. So again, the solutions here, I'm just kind of going over it. It was find benefits and other resources that you may be eligible to receive. Create a budget. If you need somebody to help you to create a budget, we have certified financial counselors. Del Marine is a financial counselor. Sylvia de la Mora, Juanita Villalbazo, here at the Housing Commission, at the Achievement Academy, are all certified financial counselors, and myself. Also reduced, again, the voluntary expenses. Cut down on those, because those you can cut down and utilize that maybe to pay off your debt. And then the most important thing is that I want you to take away today would be take emotion out of cutting expenses, and do not use credit cards to offset expenses. Look for ways to increase income that we just went over. Okay. Understanding your credit score. Before I go into understanding your credit score, kind of want to go over this with you. Let's learn what is a credit score. A credit score is a number calculated based on the info in your credit report, such as how much money you owe, whether you've paid on time or late, how long you've had credit, how much new credit you have, and whether you've asked for new credit recently. So all of that information is in that credit report. They use a statistical program, and then they assign you a score. Credit falls from 300 to 850. The higher your score is, the better credit you have. Lower scores then mean you have bad credit. And some people don't have any credit because they never bought anything or never utilized or started to build their credit. You can always start doing that, by the way. So basically, what your FICO score is a summary of your credit history. The three major credit bureaus include TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. They collect all of the credit data and other information about you, including how you've handled your money and bills in the past. This will help lenders decide if they will do business with you and what interest rates to charge you. So you might ask yourself, well, who cares about your credit history? Well, lenders do. They're gonna, 90% of them are gonna use your credit score to make a decision when you're applying for loans and credit cards. The landlords, if you're thinking about renting a place, they're going to run your credit score, and also potential employers. So again, credit history can make a huge difference. Again, when you apply for a loan or a credit card, this can also give you better rates based on your credit score. If you're looking for a job, the employer's also looking to see if you use your credit wisely and if you have good credit. And then again, you're going to have a better chance to be approved for the unit if you're trying to rent an apartment. And if you're buying a car or a house, you do need a good credit score to get approved for the loan. Also, if you want to get a cell phone or on utilities, you won't pay a security deposit if you have a good credit score. So it is very important. Now I'm just going to go over the pie here again, and I just talked about it a little bit. So 35% is payment history. So they're looking at account payment information. They're looking if you have adverse public records, amount of delinquent accounts, and number of past due items. Remember, you need to avoid missing payments on your credit cards or loans, because one 30-day late payment can drop the score almost 100 points. So it's really important that you stay current on your payments. They look also at the highest 30% here is outstanding debt. Outstanding balances on the accounts, the proportion of balances to total credit limits, proportion of installment loan amounts. Also, they're looking at the length of credit. How long have you had that account, which is great to have, for example, a credit card that you've had for 15 years or 10 years, because it shows that you've been able to use that credit wisely and you still have it. So they do look at that, how long you've had it. And then how many credit lines sought, the number of recently opened accounts, and the number of recent inquiries. So these are the things that they're looking at when the report is run. This is what they're looking at, and that's what's going to give you the score. So just to summarize, do not manage money emotionally. Again, utilize benefits available to you in your community. Be a smart shopper, use coupons, and get to know store cycles. You can do that also by going to the 99-cent stores. They have great produce there, organic, for 99 cents. So it's a great place to shop for certain things to save and use your money wisely. Also keep a journal or budget of your spending and look for ways to save on required expenses. Also look for ways to cut your voluntary expenses, right? These would be your voluntary expenses, would be your wants. Know how to access your credit report. If you've never done that, you can go to visit the website, annualcreditreport.com, or you can call this number, 1-877-322-8228, and they can also send you a copy of your credit report, creditkarma.com. And if you'd like to request it by mail, you can do so and get one free report every 12 months from the 3 major credit bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And do you have any questions?
Excellent job, Anna. I really appreciate it. Once again, you hit it out of the ballpark. If you guys have any questions, can you please type them in the chat? Also, for credit purposes, in order for you to get credit for attending this workshop, we need to have your full name. So there's 2 people here that I've messaged privately, Alcatel 3V, and one other person is just iPhone. If you can message, if you know how to change your name, please change it right now. If you don't know how to change your name on the screen, please send me a message with your full name so I can change it to make sure that you guys get credit for today's workshop. Okay. All right, I don't have any questions coming in right now. I did get a message from somebody about their name. All I need is whoever's logged in as Alcatel 3V and iPhone. The other people, I already have those. It's listed already. And please change it now so I can make sure that you get credit for this. We've also recorded this, and there is a question, Anna. They wanted to know if they can get a copy of the PowerPoint.
Oh yes, of course. If they can email, let me know their email. I can email it to them as soon as we're off.
Yeah.
And do it privately.
If you
maybe
don't have,
yeah, if they can do it privately.
or if you have, yeah, if you whoever your caseworker is, just email them directly as well, because we all have copies of the workshop, so you can email us directly, and we will make sure that you get a copy of the PowerPoint. I'm still not getting the iPhone change and Alcatel 3V. So unless you guys know who that is, unfortunately, you guys won't get credit for attending. If you can please send me that now, I can make sure that you get credit for attending. Other than that, you will not
this
get.
This is Tanisa. Dale, can you hear me?
Hey, T.
Hey,
Yeah.
Sandy had a question. She wanted to know if we have a template worksheet that they can use to write in their own expenses and income.
Yes, well, we have a budget form. And I think we all have a budget, and if I could send it to you, T.
Why don't you send it? No, don't send it to me. I don't want it.
Well, I can go ahead and email them the budget form. It's really great. If they can, yeah, I could send it to them if they can go ahead and just give us their email, or they can contact us and I'll email it to
Me
them.
quedo.
I can send it to Anna. I have a simple one that I can forward to her.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Juanita.
Hey Anna, this is Jonathan.
Yes.
All of my BCO participants are unfortunately had to join late because we just finished another workshop. So is there any way you can share, I know that the question has already been asked, but if you can share the link so they can watch the whole presentation, that would be greatly appreciated.
Yes, definitely. Thanks to Dell, he recorded the presentation. We'll go ahead and forward that to you.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it takes a minute to upload, so it may not come until later this afternoon. But once it's uploaded, I'll let Anna know to send it out to everybody.
Yeah, just
Jonathan,
send it
do
up
you
to-
happen to know who the Jonathan? Do you happen to know who the Alcatel 3V is? She's not responding, and I don't know who it is. So I want to give her credit, or him or her credit, but I can't if
It's
I don't know
not
who the
one of
name is.
my BCO participants. I recognize everybody's name, so
Okay.
yeah, that's not one of mine.
For the iPhone, we need
Okay.
both, the iPhone and the,
I think the iPhone either logged off now or changed their name because I don't see it up anymore.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only name I'm missing is the Alcatel 3V. So, okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and, if there's no other questions, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording. And if you guys are interested in another workshop, we have one later today at 2 o'clock.
Hello?
yes?
Yeah,
I had two questions I sent in the chat.
oh, okay.
I was wondering what's the maximum limit to the income that you could make?
The maximum income you can make?
In terms
Yeah.
of what?
Like, if you increase your income by like getting another job, will that be lowered in like Section 8 or?
Well, your income is calculated your rent portion is calculated based on your income, right?
Yeah.
So let's say, when was your last recertification?
Very recently, actually, I
Okay.
think this year.
Okay, so this is how it works. So we do biennial recertifications. That means every 2 years. So what I would recommend, if you want to increase your income, don't let that stop you. If you just got recertified, we already recertified you for 2 years. So we're not going to count your new income until your next recertification, which is in 2 years.
Oh.
So don't let that stop you and increase your income. Just report it in writing to the Housing Commission. Hey, I want to let you know I did start a new job and this is my first check stub. And what they'll do is send you a no change letter at that time, because we don't count income except during your recertification and if you're moving. Those are the only 2 times we would count that income.
Okay, thank you so much. I have just one more question.
Go ahead.
How do I open an account to start saving with you?
Okay, well, that's a great question. You just need to think about what you're looking for in a financial institution. Do you like, for example, credit unions are smaller, or you want a big bank? And you need to think about what fits for you. And how much is the deposit too? How much are they going to ask you to open the account? So you really should start looking right now about and investigating the banks and everything about what is best for you. What's the best fit for you? Either a big bank, like for example, Wells Fargo or Union Bank, because some of those banks are they offer more services and products than the smaller banks or savings and loans.
And I had a question.
Mhm.
Is a bank better, or would you recommend a credit union?
Well, for example, let me just give you my example. I like a bank. I like a bank. I bank with Union Bank. Just because it's very close to where I live, they always have a lot of locations here in San Diego. I like the bank there more than a credit union, but a credit union also has a lot of the same services of the bank. So it just depends on what you like and what fits best for you. But I've never had a problem with that specific bank.
And can I just chime in?
Yes.
I have more than one bank account, and that's because they have different options. But the credit
Yeah.
union that I use, which is Navy, I love. They have a different way of looking at your credit score. They have their own credit scoring system, which sometimes for people that are having issues where their credit scores are lower, may be able to get better options through there. But Citibank and Union Bank, as Anna was saying, have second chance accounts, which means that if you've had issues with your bank in the past, with banking in the past, they will help you. So it's all a matter of what your need is.
Right. Yes, exactly, Juanita. Thank you for that. It's true. So again, it just depends on what your situation is. If you don't have any problems with in the past, you can just open an account, like Juanita said, in a credit union or in a bank. But if you do have any problems with that you've had in the past, mistakes with maybe your accounts being closed, I highly suggest that you do look into the second chance account, and they'll help you start building your credit. And also it's just very useful to open an account at the bank with the second chance.
Anna and Juanita, we do have some questions coming in now.
Okay.
One is asking about sending information on the second chance accounts. Can you provide some information that you can send to everybody?
Yes,
Sure.
we're going to be having a workshop pretty soon on that. Maybe I'm working with a bank right now that's going to be giving us different banking products later on in the future. But we can look into what's out there now in just a listing, if that's what they're looking for.
Right. And I know, Juanita, that Union Bank does have that second chance one. And I think there was another bank that has it.
Citibank has it. Chase, what they do is they use a card where you load it up, but it's still considered a bank account, but it's on it's a card.
Yes.
And you also have, I think, I don't think the bigger accounts like Wells Fargo and B of A, they don't. So it all depends. The smaller banks are more apt to do that. And if you're in the check system, that's what we mean about getting onto a second chance account.
Yes.
Okay, there's another question coming in. I'm not sure I understand this one. It's from April Julian. The question is, what if you are in check system? I'm not sure I understand that.
So the check system is
Okay.
when you had issues with banks in the past. And so there are banks that will allow you to do a second chance. It's a different product.
Okay.
And what happens is that they will give you not a checking account. What they will start you out with is a savings account, because they don't want you to.
Gotcha. Yes.
So what they do is they set you up with a savings account, or they'll set you up with a reloadable bank card. And then what that'll do is it'll give you a chance to start working. And if you do good with that, then they graduate you onto a checking account.
Okay, thank you. Here's another question. We got a bunch of questions coming in now. So
Okay.
which bank is best for a business account?
Several questions here.
Juanita.
That again is your preference and what you're looking for. Your bank, whoever you're banking with now, you can ask them if they have a business account option. And if they do, you want to talk to them about that. Remember that in order for you to get a business account, you have to have a bank, a business, and you have to have the registration and the fictitious name set up already. They're going to require that in order for you to set up a business account.
Okay. What if Second Chance won't help people on check system?
Then we talk about other options. You have Capital One that has a banking account option online. And then you have the option that I just talked about earlier, which is the reloadable bank cards that your check would go on there. You can use it as a bank account, a card, but it's also considered a bank account. There's other options.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Another question is, what do I do after I make an account, after I open an account?
What do you do after you open the account or open an account?
Yeah, that's
well,
the
here's
question.
The thing. It depends on why you're opening the account. So if you're opening the account for business, then you're going to set up the account and you're going to start depositing money and taking money out of there and keeping a certain amount in there. But if you're opening the account to set up and become banked, because if you went to the workshops that we had prior on home purchase, banking and becoming a banked individual is very important in order for you to become a homeowner. So you want to have a bank account that you have a direct deposit to if you've got money coming in directly, and you want to be able to know how to maintain that and not overdraft it. And so we do workshops for that. Anna, I think, has one coming up pretty soon. If not, we are having one. We'll schedule one out, right, Anna? I guess
Yes,
we can do one on
definitely.
banking.
Okay, scanning through a couple more. What type of ID do you need to open an account?
You would need two IDs. You're gonna need a picture ID and either a social security card, a passport, passport or something else with a picture on it.
Okay, the rest of them looks like they're just comments. So I think that may be all of the questions. Once again, thank you, Anna and Juanita,
Hello?
for,
Yes.
yeah?
Just one more question. I was wondering how I connect the bank account to the San Diego Housing Commission so that like there's that connection.
You mean for payment?
Yeah, like in order to like work with you guys.
So if you're making your rental payment, there should be, somebody should have given you how to send it to us. That would be an HA question, I believe, right, Anna?
So it depends if you have, I'm trying to think if anything is, the only payments that we would manage would be payments, for example, if you live in a public housing site, then they send the payments directly to the housing commission. But other than that, we don't take direct payments from them. They go directly to the landlord. You pay your portion of the rent to the landlord, and we pay the difference to the landlord directly.
So who are you paying your rent to or your portion to? Whoever you pay it to, there should be some way to link it. For example, when I make a payment to my mortgage company, I set up my account through my mortgage, and my bank account is linked to it. And so automatically the money is sent through there. If that's what you're asking.
I was asking like to save money to buy a house.
Oh, you're looking for the FSS account.
Oh, okay.
Is that what you're looking for, the FSS account, I think?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. So Monica is your caseworker, I believe. And so you want to talk to Monica about setting up or getting enrolled in the FSS program. So the FSS program is the one that creates an escrow account. And after 2 years, whatever money you built in there, you get up to $10,000 in order for you to purchase your home, which is what I think you're asking about.
Yeah, Halima, so if you need to connect with Monica, and she will get you started on the Family Self-Sufficiency Program. And there's a couple questions coming in about that. If you guys are not familiar with the FSS program, please contact your Achievement Academy specialist as soon as possible so we can get you enrolled in the program.
It's
How
a
do we
great,
know who our specialist is?
Who is this?
Is this Desiree?
I think.
So how did you hear about the work?
Desiree is
Huh?
a power of one. And so Desiree
Desiree is a power of one.
is a power of one.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think I can't remember if she's on Section 8 or not, because the FSS program is for individuals on Section 8.
So if you don't know, there's a couple questions. If you don't know who your specialist is, you have to have one. To know about this workshop. So whoever sent you the link to this workshop is most likely your specialist.
For BCO participants, if you have any questions regarding the FSS program, please talk to me because it does not apply to every BCO participant. So let's chat about that in another occasion.
Right. And for Desiree, she's part of the Moving Home program. And so she's part of the Power of One, but she belongs originally to DM.
Hello?
Yes.
I actually talked to Monica about buying a home, and she told me like that I'm in Section 8 and why I would like want to buy a home. So
Okay.
yeah.
We're having a workshop starting on the 25th of August on the home ownership component. Those are workshops specifically for people moving towards home ownership. So the one on the 25th starts off as an orientation type with overview. And then we're gonna have an 8-part series workshop of different steps to move towards home ownership. Okay?
Juanita, sorry, this is Desiree. I heard since I'm with the Moving Home, so you said I would be talking with Dale?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that you are eligible
Correct.
for the FSS program.
Okay, thank you.
But
But
Yeah,
you
but
are
we can talk
eligible for all the
offline.
rest of the stuff under the Power of One program.
Thank you, Juanita.
yeah, everything that Juanita can provide you.
That's okay.
Okay, one last question. What time is the homeownership workshop on the 25th, Juanita? Do you have a time yet for that
At
one?
11. I will send
At
out.
11 o'clock?
Yeah, I sent out the email to all the work readiness specialists already. I will
Okay.
send it out to all of our all the people that I have on the home ownership listing. And if I don't have you on the home ownership listing, you can email me and I will go ahead and include you in my list. Let me type my email address so that you can email me.
Juanita, I know your email is giving me problems still. You have me on that as well? This is Jacqueline.
It's better now, Jacqueline. I'm doing
Oh, okay, perfect.
okay.
Okay. I am going to go ahead and stop the recording now. Thank you guys so much for all your great questions. And if you need any follow-up questions, reach out to your HA, or I'm sorry, to your specialist. And if you're not sure who your specialist is, reach out to the contact for BCO or to your contact for Power of One, and we'll make sure that you are assigned to the appropriate WRS.
And just as an FYI, at CALTE 3B, whoever you are, we will not be able to give you credit for this workshop.